Hey everyone. So today I wasn't even going to make this video because everything's so unfinished. And that's the story of my life. I'm always like, I have these big ideas. You've heard your eyes are bigger than your belly, which mine are that too. Um, Maybe that's why I'm so fluffy, but I, my mind is bigger than my time limit too. So I think that's the problem. My insides are all bigger than my outsides and I can't keep up. Is that Yeah, I think that's the thing. So I was gonna go ahead though and try to work on some of what I have in my mind and show you where my last minute gifts are going. This one is for my stepmom, and it's a repurposed card. These cards are beautiful. They're just so pretty. And I got them at the secondhand shop. So, and I couldn't figure out what to do with them because I didn't want to take away from any of the picture or the picture on the inside, and the envelope is just as pretty. It's got, a picture here. So what I decided to do was I was going to make this little writing book, I guess, of sorts. And I made her a really special pretty pin. I made a lot of these special pretty pins. I made one for sister that has a little hair dryer and popsicle and a comb. Of course, it's pink. I just made some different ones. And I made the little snowman with some just wooden beads and then painted on the face. But my face has started looking kind of like maybe evil snowman or bad. Isn't there a movie about bad snowman or some kind of snowman that ain't nice? Anyway, and then I made, some other ones, but I was trying to make Jack one that resembled a Spider-Man theme, and I'm not happy with it. It just looks too girly. He's not going to like it, so we're not going to do that one. Oh, here's one more. But these are just the, beadable pins. Nothing creative there. I know you're thinking, well, she has a lot of bead stuff. And the reason I do was because, I get these big ideas that I'm going to make things and sell them in my shop. And then after the fact that I get all the things, then I do the research. And I find out that shipping one of these things would cost just as much as the pin. I mean, even these aren't expensive. The beads aren't glass, whatever. But even if I just charge $4 or $5 for a pen, then you pay $4 or $5 for shipping. Who wants to do that? I mean, who pays $10, $8 to $10 for a pen? I wouldn't. So anyway, that's why I have all these beads. All these beads. Look at these. And accessories. And again, I've had these for years because I have, like I said, always had big plans. And I'm always on Christmas Eve trying to figure out things. So I'm showing you this to say that my plan for Christmas was to make things with things I have. And yes, I really did have all of this hot mess before today. So I haven't strayed away from the plan. I did make a keychain out of one. This is a piece that came from some kind of a mail swap. And I think it's a Tim Holtz piece. But it was just hot glued on whatever it was. And of course, it just popped right off because it's metal. And so I've put it on this. I'm going to try to get it a little tighter. This morning when I was putting these jump rings on, when I wake up of a morning, first thing I do, I got to have my coffee, right? And so I had my coffee and I was trying to put these jump rings on and my hands were just like, shaking like this. And I thought, well, good grief, what's the matter with me? Well, I just went in to get my refill coffee and realized I drink half and half, half decaf, half regular because I'm old and a nervous wreck. So my heart can't take that stuff. I'm too old for the full good stuff now. Well, I didn't make the coffee, my daughter did, and I noticed sitting next to the pot was some black silk. And I thought to myself, that's what's wrong with me. I bet I'm drinking full full charge this morning. So anyway, what I've done is I took some pages from just a Dollar Tree book. I folded them, and I didn't crease each one and fold it. I just put them all together and folded them so that it would be more rounded and not as pointy. And then I went with the sewing machine, no thread or bobbin, anywhere, and sewed across it so that these are sheets she can just write a little note, and she'll be able to tear them out. It'll just tear right across that. So I'm going to bind this in with some ribbon, put the ribbon at the top on the outside. That might be, I might do that before this video is over. But my thing was, and these are little magnets, bookmark magnets that I stuck on there. But I think this would be a good idea if you had more time, because what I did was it's a magnetic closure, and I backed it with the envelope because it was pretty. But I think it would be a nice idea if you had done this, earlier on, and even if you were going to mail them, because you can leave that envelope open and put your family picture or your family newsletter or whatever you send at Christmas time. I think it's a nice idea. I'm going to glue mine closed probably because we don't do family pictures at Christmas time. Obviously, I don't even finish my Christmas presents at Christmas time, so there's that. But so then I had this really wide spot over here. Didn't know what to do with, so I think I'm just going to put I've cut some Post-it notes in half, and I think I'm just going to stick those over here along the edge so she can still read the sentiment on the inside. And I wanted to put 2 layers, but this is too long. It won't fit here. And if I could find the other part of my stickies, which, I can't, I think I'm going to cut them down to fit in this little spot right here. And what I was going to do is put my pin in here like this. And I had a piece of cardstock, and the way to put in a pin, just take your cardstock, fold it in half, and then, the depth of your pin, fold it back and forth. So you have this little edge standing up. And then punch a hole or however so that it will sit down in there and you can glue it. But I don't want to do that. It's really, the pin is too thick for how this book turned out. I didn't think it all the way through, so that's kind of a fail. I still think it's a pretty gift, so I'm going to put it in like a cellophane bag, something like this, once I get the inside complete. And like I said, it would be a great gift to put all the things in, and then they still end up with something they can use throughout the year. Sure do wish I could find the rest of my Post-it notes, but I can't. Oh, and also I made a ledge. I made it where it has a bit of a spine. It's not totally folded over. And how I did that was on your card, however thick you want your ledge. Let me just grab a different card and show you. Oh, and look, I found the rest of my Post-it notes fell on the floor. So like I was saying, I'll probably cut it so that, just cut this end off. So this over here will be Post-its. This will be the writing spot for her to use. So that's probably how I will end up doing that. This is another one of those cards, and this is exactly how they came. So they probably were expensive, but they all came in a big pack from the secondhand store. So how I did it was to give myself, a bit of a spine, not just flat. I opened it up, and if you know, however wide you want your spine. I think I did about 1/4 of an inch. So that looks about good, about right. And I just folded it then, like that. I just measured it along the back side, this side. So now I'm going to take my bone folder, press that down, and then flip it over and do the same thing on the back cover. And you can do this with junk journals too. This is a good way to get yourself a spine without all the measuring and whatnot. So now you have this kind of a spine. So then what I did on the envelope, I glued it to the back of this so that my picture would show, and then I just trimmed off the rest. And then I took the envelope, the lip, and did the same thing. I knew that I wanted this much of a spine, so I just did the same thing and folded it over. I put my spine up next to this one because I just left where your envelope normally creases. Put my new crease up against that. Opened up my book and then just made my new crease. And luckily it was just perfect that you could see the words. Now, if it bothers you that the words would be sideways when it's closed, oh, and then I folded this like so that it didn't cover so much of the picture. If it bothers you that the words are sideways, like on this one, or upside down if she holds it like this, put a piece of lace. See, just even lace, it covers it where you don't see, you can't really tell so much what's underneath. So hindsight, what I probably would have done, and I may still do, is I would put something to reinforce the spine on this side and on the envelope. So I'm probably still going to do that before I sew in my little signature there. And also, I probably would have backed this before I glued on the envelope, just to give it a little more strength. I like it the way it is because it's probably more than likely just going to sit on her desk. And she's such a sweet, gentle person that it's, you know, and she's not going to care about this. I like that it said it, so I left it. Another option I might do for the pin, and I hadn't made up my mind on this part yet, is I did find this little piece of lace on the floor, and I thought, well, maybe I would glue it before I glued back my envelope, like so, and glue it to this side where it could just sit in there. And I'll make it tight enough that it slides in easily, but see, it's not going to go all the way through because of the bigger beads. And I think that will look nice. And then, but again, it's thick, and I'm not sure I like it looking that thick. You know, I don't think she's going to care. I think she will like it that it's all together. So that's probably what I'm going to do, is just glue that lace, and it's going to look fine. So that was one project that I still don't have complete. The other project, I was going to make some of these little folders for Jack and Sophia. Well, this one's been written in. And I was going to do one of the binder clips, and I'll show you that real quick. You put a binder clip, put your elastic, and then you can put your pin on the side. And looking at this, this is a good idea for my friend. She always carries a little book like this in her car, and it would be nice for her to have the pin already attached. She's very organized. She's like my best friend, and she's total opposite of me. She's very organized. Of course, the only pins I have that are about this size are these scented ones, like for kids, which that's what I was going to use for Jack and them. I'd gotten them years ago for activity packs or something back before my junk journaling when I was doing craft fairs. But these are scented. I don't know. Kelly probably don't really need a little, though I do call her Smelly Kelly. This might make her think I'm trying to give her a hint. Here's a good smelling pen. Rub it on yourself. But I thought we could make one of these real quick. Not that it needs a tutorial because it's pretty self-explanatory. Although I will say, when I was wanting to make one of these for the first time, these little pen holders, I couldn't find it on the internet. I have since found one that I thought was really neat, a tutorial. I'm going to look in my Christmas scrap, I think. The only requirement is I need my scrap to be this wide. So this is certainly wide enough. So I took this Dollar Tree paper and I just folded, I think I took like 10 sheets. Actually, I took 5 sheets, I think, and folded it, which made 10. I don't really remember. I guess I could look at my book and see how many sheets this little thing has. So it looks like it has 8 sheets. So there's 16 sheets in that one. So I've got 5 here. I'll do 3 red. I don't know why it matters. I don't have to have the same amount. I got 4 red and 5 green. So I'm just going to mix these in with each other. Like that. Yep, that's what I did. And now what you could do, if you wanted this to be even, which, gosh, this is Kelly. I wouldn't normally do this. We have more of a sister relationship than anything. We have always been able to say exactly what we think to each other. And you know what? If you have a friend like that, keep them, because they're few and far between. That somebody's not getting their feelings hurt. I'm not good with this thing, so I just finally picked it up and trimmed off the rest with my scissors. Okay, so this ended up being 3 inches wide and 4 inches tall. So I'm going to cut me an 8 by 6 sheet of paper out of this, and I'll be right back. I don't know why I told you those dimensions. That was all completely wrong. This is 4 by 3, but you want you want a 6 by 6 sheet of paper, because when you fold it in half, it's going to be the perfect size. And if you get a double-sided like this is, I would recommend not getting a directional, because so many times I made these and they were, the inside would be upside down, or when you fold up the flap, if you want to have flaps on the inside, something's going to be upside down. So this is how I just took it like that, folded it up. Nothing precise. And then I like to fold it back vertical. I think this is the easiest way for me anyway. And then where they meet, I just kind of did a little point. You're kind of making a triangle. And then at the top of it, I kind of rounded it over. Just like that. So that when you open it up, you have your 2 flaps just like this. Easy peasy. Then I'm going to take my papers and set them inside. Looks like I didn't get it very straight, but I'm going with it. It is what it is. And I found some of these little tags. I thought maybe I would decorate the outside. But before I do that, and maybe this is why, I'm wondering if the reason I didn't put 10 sheets, I wonder if my stapler will go through this. Before I do that, I'm going to glue these side flaps. But wouldn't these make great stocking stuffers or co-worker gifts? I mean, I know it's a little late in the game now to be coming up with stuff like this, but that was, I think, the intention to begin with. Now get my turn stapler. These in here. And then just staple. Actually, I want to staple from the outside, don't I? They did just fine. So there they are. There's your little notebook. How easy is that? I love it. And see, this is where my mind goes crazy because I would probably take an elastic piece and hang a little charm from it. And all of that's not necessary. But I don't need to do that anyway because I'm going to make the little binder thing. So, you know what? I'm not going to cut anything. I'm going to make this really easy. I'm going to grab my stickers. Sorry for the rough one here, but I have that in a bag. I was going to show you some I had made. Oh, some. There's only one. Like this one. I loved these little gingerbread houses, but see when you fold it up, it's, of course, going to be upside down. Unless you made this your inside, and then you wouldn't notice it was upside down. But I liked the gingerbreads, and I guess that's probably why I done it. Probably, I didn't even realize I still had this one. I probably should have just given her this one, because that would drive her crazy that those were upside down, and that would tickle me. Yeah, it would. Oh, well. So I'm going to keep that one. And I'm going to just grab some stickers. I remember I got these at Hobby Lobby years ago. And, you know, around Christmas time and stuff, they always have everything 50% off or 70% off. And I'm sure that's what the deal was with that. Just going to put a little tree there. See what we got inside. Maybe I'll put season's greetings. Something like that. It's probably crooked, but it's Kelly, so I don't care. I love her. She's seriously my best friend. Golly, I've known her longer than my own child. Just trying to see what else was in here. Something fun. Well, I guess not. This one's about empty, isn't it? But on the bright side, look at all this sticker paper I have to make more things out of. Here, I'm going to put this because one year we actually did go cut our own Christmas trees. I don't know if she'll remember it or not, but we did. It was fun. So I'll put that one that says cut your own. And then in the back here, I think I'll just put Santa Claus. Again, not very, not very, you know, much to that, but I know that she's going to put it in her car, which is good. That's what I mean for it. So I'm just going to grab, I think I'm going to do one of the little green binder clips. Not that it matters because you won't be able to see it. And I know you're thinking this is a pretty cheesy gift to give your best friend. But here's the thing. We normally don't even give each other gifts because we don't have to. We're friends. And this is elastic. What do they call this stuff? Elastic ribbon, maybe? Fold over elastic is what it's called. And I know that several years ago I got this from Amazon, I believe, and it was a pack. It just had all kinds of different colors in it. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to put that right there. I'm going to pick a pen. What color do I want to give her? I want a smell she doesn't like. Don't you wish I was your friend? I think I want a green one because I don't know what this smell is, but that's what she's getting. So I just take this, hold it, put your pen there. See, I told you I'm so fiddly today with all that coffee. And then you just wrap it to the other side like that. But you don't want it real tight. I mean, you want it to be able, it won't fall out, but you don't want her to have to, well, you might not want her to have to struggle. So I'm going to cut it right here. And I would give you a measurement on this, but all pen sizes, of course, are different. So just do it like that. Wrap your pen around, see how much room you need, and do it that way. This is the glue you want to use because I've tried hot glue, I've tried Fabri-Tac, I've tried all the things, and they will just peel off. This stuff is the best to use for this to actually get it to stay. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get this out of here because it's been like forever since I've used it. It might be completely dried up. I don't know. The best thing to do is to take a toothpick and smear it on that way. That way you don't have glue all over the place. I may have to, feels pretty hard. I may have to cut this. Let's cut it. Yeah, let's live on the edge. That way I can squirt glue out everywhere. Yeah, see, there's no getting that out. It's hardened up. Well, that's sad. All right, so Kelly's going to get one that's probably going to fall apart. So, yes, I wouldn't recommend using the Fabri-Tac, but I do recommend using the 6000. It will hold really well. This will eventually give way. It'll hold for a bit. Just kind of push it down in like that. Bring the other side over. And then what I usually do is I'll take a bigger binder clip and clip it on the outside just till it completely dries to hold it really well. But I don't think I have any bigger ones in here. So I'm just going to grab one of the small ones. Oh, I do too have a bigger one. Look, I do too have a bigger one. So I'm going to do it just like this and hold it on there. Actually, I'm wondering if a smaller one wouldn't work better. Well, no, it won't work better because you can't get it on there. Another dumb idea. Okay, so forget it. I'm going to put this one on there. And I'm going to put it upside down so that it holds that bottom part really good. And let that dry. Then we'll clip it on the outside here, and she'll have a pen and writing spots and little folders. Isn't that cute? I like it. And if I really wanted to do good, I would stamp the middle. I think I'll stamp a little typewriter in there. Just like that. And like I said, if you wanted to be real creative, could stamp, smaller things in the corners or whatever. But that's going to be that. And I plan on making some of those for Jack and Sophia too, because I think they will really like those little pins. And one more thing I was going to do for them was create a pouch from a bubble mailer and fabric and put all of their goodies in that. Now, whether or not I'm going to have time to do that, similar to what you would do for a cover for a junk journal, only I'm going to fold it into thirds, kind of thirds, you know what I mean? So that I have a flap, and I'm going to put a little piece of Velcro. Maybe if I get these things done, I will show you the finished projects for Christmas Eve. Oh, happy Christmas Eve Eve. That's what today is. So maybe I'll get them done, and that will be my Christmas Eve video to show you those finished projects. So again, I know this was not the most creative video in the world. I just thought I would show you some of my unfinished Christmas things. And maybe if you're like me and you're still doing things on Christmas Eve Eve, you will get a good idea. Or maybe just one more person that, oh, I wish I'd have got something, and you can create something like this for them. And again, maybe I will be able to show you this too once I get all the things and decide how I'm going to for sure do this. I hope that this inspired you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that everybody feels sorry for my friend Kelly now, but don't. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.